But yeah, I have many more ideas than I tell you guys about. I only tell you about what I deem to be the good ones, or you know, I'll generally go and have a quick look to see if anyone else has done it before me, and if they have, then I normally won't tell you about them. But I can't find everything, you know. So you may have heard some of these arrows before, and you may be like, oh, you're fucking stealing those, but I'm not, because, you know, I've never heard of them before. So let's go through the list of arrows and say how you'd make them, how they'd be useful, and what sort of benefits they'd have. So starting with the tracer arrows, I couldn't decide what the tracer arrows would be made out of, but basically you fire an initial tracer arrow, and so it's like every stack of arrows. If you have 2 stacks of tracer arrows, they can't be mixed together, but they only stack to 16. So that's a downside for them, but basically you fire one, and then every other arrow from that stack hits the exact same spot where the original one hit. So you could fire them out at the Ender Dragon, and then the next 16 arrows would pretty much be guaranteed to hit her if she was anywhere within range. Very useful, I feel, with that one, and it can be a lot of fun. Very useful in PvP, but I feel quite quickly people would put rules like no tracer arrows, because they would be a bit OP for PvP. And the tracer arrows could be mixed with other arrows, so you could have tracer explosive arrows, but mixed arrows would only stack to, say, 8, and they would be extremely expensive to make mixed arrows. There's always got to be a big downside to stuff like that. So let's just dump. Let's just dump this sand and get down here. So yeah, I couldn't decide what to make them out of, because there's nothing in Minecraft like computery enough. It's probably something redstone. It could just be like 1 arrow and 1 piece of redstone, or maybe 4 arrows around the redstone. Like you have an arrow there in your crafting grid, and then redstone, redstone, like that. So you'd have the you'd have the redstone there, and then 4 arrows around the outside in the big crafting grid, and that would be how you'd make it, because it's not, you know, redstone isn't infinite by any means, so using 1 per 1 is quite expensive. Or you could use 1 per 1, like 1 arrow and 1 redstone makes 4 tracer arrows, and then give the tracer arrows less damage, because you can't give someone something as OP as an arrow that always hits the same spot without nerfing it in some way. So either making it really expensive or nerfing the damage of the arrow itself is a brilliant way of actually leveling out the playing field like that, just to make sure the arrow isn't too overpowered. Fire arrows. Very simple. Whatever they touch, they set on fire. There was some lightning. Huh. So I just noticed some lightning out my window. No, it wasn't on Minecraft. Wait, it could have been. Is it raining? Nope. No, it's not. No. Oh god, I remember. Last time I came to harvest sand, it ended up being night time, and it's ended up again. Fuck, that's not good. Oh well, I'm just going to keep talking. So fire arrows, they would work quite a bit like arrows fired from a flame bow, and they would set fire to shit, like enemies and stuff, but they could also set fire to wood and TNT, so they'd be a brilliant remote system of setting off TNT. Sort of, I think Dukes of Hazzard style, which I like the idea of that. And if you wanted them, they could do less damage, because I know a bit about fire arrows IRL, and Sun Tzu used to use them as a brilliant weapon to actually trap his foes. Well, the arrows wouldn't trap them, the arrows would set them on fire. But the fire arrow itself doesn't have as much penetrating power as a normal arrow, because of the way it's wrapped. Oh, hang on, I need to sneeze. think I cut that out of the video. I won't know, depends on how lazy I get. If you hear the sneeze, then I'm very, very lazy today. But yeah, the fire arrow would set stuff on fire, obviously, and it would mean that you wouldn't have to have a flame bow. Or it would mean if you had an infinity bow, then it means you have an infinity flame bow. Think of that. Yeah. And, you know, you don't need infinity to get it. And I think we need a really good way of setting off TNT from a distance like that. And the flame arrows could be flaming. They'd be flaming even if they were like shot out of a dispenser, which would come in really handy. It means you could fire flaming arrows out of dispensers without needing what's it called? Without needing like lava in front of it to actually set the arrows on fire. And they would be, I haven't really decided how you'd craft those. Maybe 8 arrows around a flint and steel, but officially flint isn't infinite, and nor is, well, iron is, because of iron golem farms. They're pretty damn official, but the duplication machines aren't official. In fact, they keep trying to fix them, so they're pretty damn unofficial. So again, that would be quite expensive. But 8 arrows around it, so you put it in the middle of the grid, and then the 8 arrows go in the 8 spaces around it, would be a good way of doing it. They could stack to say 32, because they would have slightly decreased damage, but increased fire, so they'd set stuff on fire. And it could be, I'd say, depending on how much they wanted to nerf it, because, you know, I don't think all of these sort of through all the time. I am on hard, I'm just not getting enemies. Sweet. I mean, I'm in a desert. You usually get all your enemies in a desert. Oh well. You know, I think this video is getting a bit long now, so fuck it, it's going to be a bit longer. I want to talk about my arrows. Let's move on to the next arrow, the egg arrow. That would be 1 arrow and 1 egg, and mainly it'd just be for fun. Could be a distraction, and you fire it, and it basically just, wherever the arrow lands, the arrow does no damage. So this one is purely a Joker type weapon, just for people to piss around with. And oh, am I full? I am. Stomp the rotten flesh. And wherever it hits, it has the exact same chances it normally does to spawn a chicken, 1 in 16, and then it also has 1 in 256 chance of spawning 4 chickens at that exact time, just like you'd expect. And it's really just for fun, because, you know, there's not enough things in Minecraft that are utterly useless in a fun way. I mean, I know I'm always complaining about, like, most of the dyes, how they are absolutely useless, and, you know, until they bring out something like the ability to make potions with different dyes. Right, I've marked that down on my map. Yeah, like, you should be able to use potions to make dyes, dyes to make potions, sorry. They should have some kind of effect on it. Like, a red dye adds a really short fire resist effect to any other potion. So you have an 8-minute speed 2 potion, 8-minute speed 1 potion, and then you mix it with the red dye, and you get, say, 30 seconds of fire resist on there. Just because it's something else. I think this is what I was actually looking for originally. Anyway, I'm getting a bit off topic there. I'm going to have to write that down. That's another thing that I've just invented for Minecraft and will take credit for if they ever do put it in the main game. But next will be light or torch arrows, and these are, I think, would be kind of interesting, because one way to do it would have to introduce a whole new lighting system where you could directly affect the light that certain blocks give off. So you'd use an arrow and a piece of glowstone to get a lighting arrow, and whatever you hit with that arrow now gives off 8 light. So that block is at light level 8, maybe 9, maybe it's 9 and the blocks around it are 8. like they actually give off a 8 light level. They're not just at the light level 8 because the other block is. Obviously, when the blocks are broken, they would. I did say blocks are broken, not blocks are broken, right? When the blocks are broken, God, I'm getting nervous. When the when their shit gets all fucked up, then they would they'd just turn back to normal blocks and not give off light anymore, which I think is perfectly reasonable. I've lost my house. Settings. Oh, spider jockey! Oh, sweet, sweet spider jockey, come and taste my diamond sword. Oh, well, that was no fun. Fucking spider died instantly. Anyway, the other one would be a torch, so it'd just be a single torch and a single arrow, and wherever the arrow hit, it would deploy a torch, and if it hit a monster, instead of deploying the torch, it would do normal arrow damage, maybe slightly nerfed, like 15% less arrow damage, and that would be absolutely amazing. Also, I love how this looks at night when I'm approaching from outside. Everything is pitch black and then there's just this beacon of light shooting up in the air. It's awesome. But yeah, the distance lighting would be such a useful feature to have in the game, because right now the only thing we have is lava, and you know, that's only good on a 3x1 distance lighting scale, where, you know, 3 blocks one block down, 3 blocks, 1 block, because that's how the lava flows, and it's not even totally reliable because of water and stuff like that. So we need a proper long range directional thing. What was I talking about? Lighting system. And I'm just going to very quickly talk about the last 3 arrows. Vine or rope ladder arrow. First off, the rope ladder would give a very useful use for string. You put string in your thing, like 2 pieces of string like that, or say like that, or even that, and whatever whatever someone decided, I haven't really decided myself, it would make rope, and then the rope in here in the shape of a ladder. And you would get rope ladder. Now, rope ladder would be a very cheap alternative to ladder, since it uses string, and as soon as anybody finds a few spiders, they have infinite string for fucking life. And I'm always thinking of uses for string, don't worry about that. Oh, damage. Oh, hang on, go up. And the rope ladder would, like I said, be a very cheap alternative to a normal ladder. It wouldn't be able to hold back lava because it would be flammable, but it would be a very nice cheap alternative, and I think a rope ladder on the side of a tree would look awesome. And of course you could make a grappling hook out of, say, iron, and you could attach it to the rope ladder, and then you throw the grappling hook. Say a grappling hook is like iron, like that, and then you just take your crafted grappling hook and put it there, and then you just there, and you take like 8 ladders, rope ladders, and put it around it, and then you throw it, and wherever it hits, it then, say if I managed to hit this block here, the 8 rope ladders would then descend from that point. So you'd be able to climb up cliffs and stuff like that. How cool would that be? Seriously, that would be awesome. They would basically be like vines, but craftable. So let me get back to this. Going so far off topic, this video is going to be long as hell. You guys are going to hate me for this. Right, the vine or rope ladder arrow would be made with, say, 1 vine and 8 arrows, or it could be a 1x1 split. Like I said, I haven't thought these through very much. And how the fuck did you manage that, you sneaky bastard? Wherever the vine or rope ladder arrow hit, it would deploy the thing, but it would only drop the 1. So you'd shoot like 4 vine arrows at a wall from a distance, so that you could. Oh yeah, my particles are off. I heard ya. Ain't sneaking up on me. See? It's all you want. Here you go, piggy. I love you so a lot. Mwah. Greedy bastards. But yeah. Oh god, I'm getting so distracted. I need to get this video finished. Must finish talking about new ideas. Let's go up here and think. Huh. Oh, the chicken lag. Got rid of the sound of the thunder. Right, I'm just going to look at... oh, look at this real quickly. So, right, the next one will be javelin arrows, crafted with an Eye of Ender, with 8 arrows around it. The arrow would fire, when you shoot it, it would shoot up in the air, and then you try to fire again, and the arrow would then come down on the point where you were aiming. It just like a javelin from the army, and it would mean you'd be able to shoot over walls, and you could get a better aim at someone. So instead of trying to run and fire, you could quickly fire, then turn around and take a decent look and not have to slow down. And yeah, I thought Eye of Ender because they fly up into the air. Like, I actually looked at one and thought that could be a really cool way to make a javelin. And then the last one is wheat arrows, and they would be fired and they would attract any animal within, like, say, a 32-bit range, a 32 block range, and the animal would just walk over towards where the arrow is and then stay there. And that is everything for now. I'm going to end this video before I find out how long it is, and it makes me very, very sad. Peace out, y'all.